It covers, well, Nisa translates to women, but it covers orphans, minors, sick children, dispensing of funds. But before I get into that, I wanted to read the first verse in it. It says, "O humanity, be mindful of your Lord, who created you from a single soul. And from it he created its mate, and through both he spread countless men and women. And be mindful of Allah, in whose name you appeal to one another, and honor family ties. Surely Allah is ever watchful over you." So it begins talking of what reminds us that Allah is always compassionate and merciful, and discusses how human beings started. That Adam was uniquely made from God, and that Eve was part of that made from Adam. Online, when I looked up paleontology information, it discussed the latest findings, which are kind of recent. I also looked up Muhammad's birth and death dates and the oldest copy of the Quran. So, there were human beings, but the earliest ones they really considered to be that were Homo sapiens, and it discusses how they were standing upright and using tools. So they found the skeletons in Africa to Asia, which pretty much matches up with biblical information. They refer to it as OMO-1, OMO. They're using radiocarbon tests, also known as C14 findings. They were found some in volcanic ash, and instead of the name Eve, they have labeled the female skeleton as Lucy. She can be found now in the Arizona State University if you've ever been interested in traveling to something kind of unique. She was found in Ethiopia in 1974. And the earliest recorded male skeleton is called Cheddar Man. He's found in Britain, but the actual skeleton was Ethiopia. The pigment associated with it was Sahara, and they thought it was 20 years old. There were recent findings, one in 1974 and the other in 1903. Muhammad himself, he was born in the time period of 570 AD to 632. And the oldest recorded Quran is 1,500 years old. Its parchment leaves were tested, and it's found in Alabama and the University of Birmingham. That's the scientific part. When we go back to Nisa, it talks about to fear and respect Allah, and that orphans, if they have any property, it's important to make sure they receive it, that we're not to, and nobody is supposed to use it or combine it with their own property, that it's a serious sin. It says, don't exchange evil for good. And as far as marrying, you can have 4 wives as long as you can be fair to them all. If not, it says that maybe limit that, but be sure to avoid bias. You can marry an orphan. As for the dowry, it's a duty of a Muslim male to provide one. The female can decline it, and the male can then use the finances for pleasure. It discusses in mature ages that you can give money to them for support and kind words for sure. But as for minors, both male and female are eligible to receive legal shares from parents and funds. If there's a meeting and those are dispersed, it asks you to provide charity to those attending. If there are sick children, it's asking you to use, and you have to leave, to use choice words, providing enough information so that they can be well cared for. It's discussing stealing from an orphan. It cautions you not to ever do that, that you will be punished if you do. Literally, it said, with fire and bellies. Inheritance gives exact measurements. It says a male is given 2 times the wealth of females. If you have 2 daughters, they get 2/3 of your wealth. If there's 1 female, you get half of it. Parents get 1/6. There are no kids with parents. That's 1/3 for female. And if there are siblings, 1/6, less any debts that exist. Know that God is knowledgeable and judicious.